You ever seen a Tesla shut itself off like it was guilty? Like it knew it was caught red-handed? 'Cause that's exactly what happened right in front of my house, like it had a conscience. Thing just coasted to a stop, screen flickered, and bam dead. I stood there on my porch, arms crossed, thinking, well, took you long enough. And that, my friend, was the climax of 3 weeks of quiet rage, passive-aggressive notes, and one very illegal power setup. See, I'm not someone who goes looking for drama. I keep to myself, mow my lawn, pay my taxes, recycle on the right day, the usual suburban routine. My name's Alex, I'm 35, single, electrical engineer by trade. I'm very much the kind of guy who labels his circuit breakers and uses the word load balancing in casual conversation. So when my electric bill doubled out of nowhere, I didn't panic. I investigated. At first I figured, hey, maybe the AC's been grinding overtime with this heat, or maybe the garage fridge is going rogue. But after I shut off everything, even went full monk mode for a day, lights off, microwave unplugged, no Xbox, the meter was still spinning like I was charging a spaceship. That's when I noticed the cord. Big orange extension cord, not mine, plugged into my outdoor outlet and slithering down the driveway like it was trying not to be seen. I followed it, and there it was, plugged into a black Tesla Model S, parked a little ways down the street, just far enough to look technically not in front of my house, but still using my power. And I already knew who it belonged to. Madeleine Quinn. HOA chairwoman. Retired finance exec. Thinks her opinion is a public service. The type who reports you for having Halloween lights up in late November, but puts a 12-foot-tall patriotic eagle in her yard every July. Here's the real kicker: I'd applied last year to get a licensed EV charger installed at my place. Clean setup, followed every code, submitted blueprints, even offered to paint the damn thing beige to match the HOA's sacred aesthetic. Rejected. Said it would disrupt visual harmony. Meanwhile, Madeleine was out here playing Tesla vampire, sucking electricity off my house without asking. The first time I caught her, she was in yoga pants, sipping a green smoothie, and she had the nerve to wave at me, wave like she was just borrowing sugar. I stood there stunned. Didn't say anything. I thought maybe it was a one-off, a misunderstanding. So I left a note on her windshield. Polite. Non-confrontational. Said, hey, noticed you've been using my outlet, can we talk about that? No response. Next day, the cord was back. I tried placing cones around the outlet, she moved them like they were leaves on a sidewalk. Eventually, I mailed her a letter. Certified. Still no word. And every night like clockwork, that Tesla was back, quietly leaching juice while I watched my meter spin like a roulette wheel. Let me back up a sec, I'm not just some guy with a basic outlet. I know electricity. I do residential systems for a living. So I called up my buddy Eric, who works in hardware security, told him about the setup, and he goes, dude. People like her. They use illegal boosters. Black market arms that speed up charge time but jack the voltage way past safe. He sends me a few links. These things have literally caused house fires. Totally bound. And they burn your wiring without you even noticing until it's too late. So the next night, I waited till she was gone. Yeah, she had 2 cars, classic move, and I inspected the cord. Bingo. Right there near the outlet was a sketchy little black box with blinking LEDs and Chinese warning labels. I knew what it was. A current amplifier, completely illegal and insanely dangerous. That flipped the switch in me. It wasn't just about the power theft anymore, it was about safety. She wasn't just stealing electricity, she was risking my house, my safety, with banned equipment she probably bought off some shady forum. So I did what I do best, I built a solution. Installed a commercial-grade surge protection cutoff, totally above board. The kind that shuts down a circuit if it detects unsafe load behavior. It doesn't damage anything, doesn't trip the whole panel, just says, nope, and stops the flow until it's safe again. Next night, she plugs in and boom. Tesla glitches. Error beeps. Charging fails. She tries again. And again. I'm inside sipping coffee, watching from the kitchen window like it's pay-per-view. But oh, she wasn't done. Few days later, I get a notice from the HOA. Says I'm being reported for unauthorized electrical modifications, and that I'm scheduled for a mandatory inspection. Real vague language. No mention of the car. No mention of the code. Just hit. Now I know Madeline was behind it. Who else? This wasn't a coincidence. She didn't like being cut off, so she went for revenge. I almost pulled the device just to make life easier, but no. Not this time. I documented everything. Photos. Manuals. Installation logs. If they were gonna come, I'd be ready. Inspection day rolls around. 3 folks show up, including a contractor hired by the board. They check the breaker box, the surge unit, my outlets. The contractor actually compliments the install. Says it's cleaner than what he sees in new builds. Then I swear this was time Madeline walks over with her usual smug face, holding the same smoothie, and says, glad we're all being thorough. And in front of everyone, she plugs in her Tesla. What she didn't know was that she'd recently had the charge port swapped out by a third-party tech chip job, not certified. Combine that with her sketchy amplifier, and the surge protector had a meltdown of its own. There was a pop. Not loud, but sharp. The Tesla blinked. The screen went black. I heard a click from the protection unit, then silence. The car was dead. Completely bricked. The inspector crouched down, looked at her gear, and his expression changed fast. This device is bound, he said, holding up the amplifier. It voids your warranty, your insurance, everything. This could have caused a fire. Madeline looked like someone had just slapped her with her own HOA handbook. Tesla repair estimate. $18,000. Insurance denied the claim. She tried blaming me, said my house fried her car. Didn't work. The logs from my surge unit told the whole story. That thing probably saved her life and definitely saved my siding. After that, the HOA went real quiet. Within a week, my charger install was approved with 0 objections. They even offered to reimburse part of it, as a gesture of goodwill. Madeline resigned from the board. No announcement. Just quietly faded into the background like a cartoon villain after the credits roll. Couple months later, she showed up at my door. No clipboard. No blazer. Just a plate of cookies. Apple cinnamon. Said she wanted to apologize not just for the power, but for being the kind of person who assumed people owed her everything. That's how she put it. I took the cookies. They were decent. Still warm. And we stood there awkwardly for a moment before she walked away. Now, every so often she drops off a new batch. No note, no chat, just cookies on the porch. I leave the outlet uncovered now, not for her, just because I don't need to hide anymore. Thing is, justice doesn't always show up in a courtroom. Sometimes it shows up as a fried luxury car and a plate of cinnamon cookies. But here's the part one keep wondering: if I hadn't fought back, how far would she have gone? How many other people just let it slide because they didn't want to rock the boat? So let me ask you, if someone was quietly stealing from you and putting your safety at risk, would you let it go? Or would you throw the switch? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was I right to handle it the way I did, or should I have taken the high road sooner? Let's hear it.